I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry, I started licking my lip. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshkash gooshmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf.
I got in my Diddy mode. I'm sorry I began licking my lip. You realize I'm saying I mean you Diddy, you gave me the yusk slash you gave me the quinoa, the crushed D definitely sparkle. I mean panda is a mystery code from something specific, thus when the main thing ultimately is that sure thing, it's so what it is. Oh, you fundamentally have a specific nerve in your rectum? Pass me. It's frightful you all be speculation. Individuals are insane when actually the businesses made them insane, yet you all don't maintain that it should be valid in light of the fact that you all truly be venerating these individuals on the screen. Additional upsetting claims are surfacing about Diddy and the reputed ring of hunters in Hollywood, and the most recent to stand up on this is Orlando Earthy Colored. Previous kid entertainer most popular for his job in Disney youngster sitcom. That is so Raven Orlando has been battling with emotional wellness issues and substance use for a really long time anyway. He has all the earmarks of being at last turning his life around for the better. Orlando went through a psychological well-being assessment recently, and he as of late uncovered that he's been partaking in a spotless and sober life anyway. The psychological injury coming from his encounters as a kid star is, unfortunately, something that Orlando is as yet managing, and this is likewise one reason why individuals frequently excuse the things he says in interviews, yet considering ongoing claims about Diddy pairing and attempting young men and men fans are beginning to take a gander at Orlando's past remarks about Diddy in media outlets. Orlando, as of late, plunked down for one more meeting on Cam Capone News, only days after Diddy settled the ESA and dealing claim with Cassie, and Orlando's remarks have reignited the discussion about the supposed rings of high-profile hunters in Hollywood who go after hopeful youthful entertainers and performers. So what truly befell Orlando Brown as a kid star? Was he a truly casualty of Diddy and other reputed industry hunters? Thus, the eyes emerge and they call them panda eyes, and they do this too so you see individuals with these stogies and they, this large number of huge superstars, they all share the stogie, practically speaking, that is that enormous ass thing between their legs that they're staying in the previous Disney kid star. Orlando Brown has been dishing a few serious soil about the evil works on happening in the background in the music and film business, and evidently he's pointing fingers at Diddy, saying that he's essential for this enormous, obscure club of Hollywood beasts who prey on youngsters. Now, before we go into the thing Orlando said about this club and how Diddy supposedly treated him, we want to rapidly specify. Sloan Bella, this celeb medium who exploded web-based as of late after she accurately anticipated that Cassie would bring down Diddy honor around the commemoration of Kim Watchman's passing. Diddy's ex-aunt, mom of three of his youngsters, Sloan Chime, has been saying that a ton of these influential men and media outlets young men to gather their energy through say, and yes, this certainly sounds a little out there yet. Then again, with regards to Hollywood, the sky is the limit and reality is frequently bizarre to say the least. So in one of her new recordings, Sloan Bella dropped a stunner guaranteeing that Kim Dorman, as far as anyone knows, saw some genuinely wrecked stuff, including kids at Diddy's gatherings, and she was purportedly wanting to spill every one of the subtleties in a detailed account book she was dealing with, down to the way that they feel that P. Diddy is on some sort of binge for eliminating individuals who talk about this since he's gay. That isn't the issue. I maintain that you should hear me. That is a certain something, and he might have his own disgrace about that, and it could be socially not ideal for him, whatever, fall in line in the public arena. That isn't what this is. That is the thing she was attempting to say. It's anything but a book regarding him being gay. There are gay individuals, yet what we're referring to here is ceremonial sexual deviancy used to bridle energy of an individual. We are being tackled, not me, not you, but rather individuals that he's managing, and she became conscious of this. She saw this now. That is what we are referring to. We are discussing the ritualizing, sexualized hostility coordinated at small kids, basically male, to tackle their energy. The end. Our circumstance portrays what's happening in the diversion world like there's this entire mystery undersides beginning to become known. And it's significantly more upsetting than we might have envisioned now. It's likewise fascinating that Sloan Bella referenced Justin Bieber as somebody who would have been exposed to these reputed customs, and as a large portion of you likely realize, there's been a ton of hypothesis about Diddy's unseemly relationship with both Justin and Usher. What's up, man? You. Great. I'm great. How are you, youthful sibling? All that's great, selling out fields and everything beginning to act different? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the manner in which we used to hang out. Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you attempt to reach out to me, you realize, through the entirety of my, accomplices and so forth, yet you never truly got my number. So, okay, number and presently word on the road is that is so Ravenstar Orland Brown could have been a survivor. 4 of these equivalent sickening ceremonies purportedly occurring in the mystery-reserved alcoves of industry gatherings. To give you some foundation first, back in the last part of the 90s and mid-2000s, Orlando Brown was perhaps of the most encouraging youthful entertainer, and from 2001 to 2007 he was shuffling 3 Disney shows on the double, The Glad Family, Phil Moore, and obviously he was no joking matter as Eddie Thomas on That So Raven. Once Orlando Steve ventured into the Disney World, fans just fell head over heels for him, and he basically became one of the essences of that time, making a genuine imprint on the hearts of watchers, no doubt. Well, I'm Eddie Thomas, and I've generally longed for being in Broadway. Well, child, I'm gonna make your little glimpse of heaven truly is only that simple. That's right. So for what reason don't we celebrate? What about some espresso and a donut? My large break and a donut that is so was gigantic, and it crushed a wide range of Disney records, turned into the primary Disney series to arrive at a 100-episode achievement anyway. As the entertainers grew up, the show's secondary school energy didn't fit any longer, so Disney chose to envelop everything with November 2007. Now here's where things took a go for Orlando. That very year that So Raven rapped, he caused problems down in Houston for drug ownership, and that was only the start of his battles. Orlando attempted to transition from acting to music, yet his music vocation never fully took off, and he continued to run into issue with the law. Things took an unpleasant turn in 2011 when he was captured for DUI in Hollywood, cruising all over with his pregnant sweetheart, and on the off chance that that wasn't enough, under a year after the fact he got hit with one more D. Courts weren't excessively excited with Orlando. It is possible that he wasn't precisely following their orders, and an appointed authority chose to condemn him with a 180-day prison sentence, yet that wasn't the finish of it. Since, say, in July 2014, this sound came out where somebody who seemed like Orlando was evidently compromising a lady and her family, or IKU, your little girl, and everyone Orlando's rep asserted this wasn't Orlando's voice. However, at that point, Orlando's came. The lady was a stalker who just wouldn't offer him a reprieve. He was subsequently reserved for upsetting the harmony, yet they couldn't charge him since there wasn't sufficient proof for indictment. Difficult stretches only continued to come for Orlando, and it turned out to be clear he was utilizing substances to self-sedate and manage some serious unsettled injury. At one point, it seemed like Orlando would at last start over, and he some way or another figured out how to book a couple of little gigs in the midst of every one of his battles. He had an appearance in the 2015 hit Straight Outta Compton, and he additionally showed up in a supporting job in American Terrible Kid, close by Feline Williams. Orlando, likewise, prung up on The View in 2015, rejoining with the That's So Raven group and looking pretty energetic, giving fans trust that he was attempting to make something happen amusing, and made every other person amusing with actual parody and everything. And science was astounding. I mean, simultaneously. The science resembled we weren't conversing with very much, such as ourselves. All the time we were conversing with family. All the time, transformed into like something that was extremely yet tragically Life didn't precisely dole out a rebound for Orlando, and his vocation attempted to refocus while simultaneously his life as a youngster injuries kept on tormenting him. In February 2016, he went through one more fix following a public quarrel with his sweetheart. He was accused of DV and unlawful substance ownership anyway. Fans had their hearts go out to Orlando since it was clear he was grappling for certain weighty, where it counts gives that never got arranged. It was like he never got the assist once he truly required after a sting in prison. Orlando's loved ones energized for an intercession, at last persuading him to try recovery out anyway. Orlando left the program after only a week, and not long after that, a video surfaced showing him shoeless conveying a container of wine down the road. and getting into it with a man whose house he had clearly walked around to Orlando's psychological state appeared to be deteriorating, and in December 2018, he did a meeting with Dr. Phil and made a progress scan of unusual cases, including that he was Michael Jackson's child and that he had 4 kids yet wasn't altogether certain what their names were. We do. My dad was Michael Jackson, incredible Michael Jacks, and your dad was Michael Jackson. Sort that one out yet. In the event that I had the name, assuming that I had the name of anything, it'd be. Ooh, John, it was genuinely horrible to see somebody like Orlando in such a state, since how can somebody with such a lot of likely end up totally broken? Well, here's where the story takes a considerably really upsetting turn. See, Orlando has been on this binge of meetings of late, and he's been dropping sensations left